Welcome to Bar Harbor, Maine, one of the most picturesque cruise destinations in New England where natural beauty meets coastal charm. In today's video, we're giving you a complete guide to the Bar Harbor cruise port, from where you arrive, how to get around, what to see and do, and how to get the most out of your cruise ship visit. So let's dive in. Hey cruisers, Jeremy here, and for today's port video, we head to the state of Maine and the village of Bar Harbor, located on Mount Desert Island. Bar Harbor is an incredibly popular summertime destination for cruisers and land travelers alike. Fun fact, the state of Maine has a population of 1.3 million, and yet this little coastal town has been getting between 3.7 and 4 million visitors for the last 4 years. Many summer visitors come for the Acadia National Park, which makes up 2/3 of the island. This is one of New England's great playgrounds for outdoor lovers, with popular activities that include things like hiking, biking, kayaking, or simply just enjoying the island towns. So, to prepare for your visit, let's take a look at where your cruise ship will arrive. So here on this map, you can see where on Mount Desert Island, Bar Harbor is located. The important point to start with is that there is actually no cruise ship dock here, so ships have to anchor offshore and take the ship's tender boats, the smaller boats on the side of the ship, to reach the shore. Now this ride here typically takes around 15 minutes, and you'll be arriving into one of two potential locations. Pictured here, you can see where the tenders arrive shoreside. There are two different piers, both very close together. It's just important to remember which one you arrive at, as it'll be the same one that you depart from later in the day. Often there are multiple ships here in peak season, especially for the fall foliage changes, so typically one ship will use one platform area and the other will use the other one. Now once arriving, there isn't much in the way of facilities right by the port. One has a restroom and a building with some tour sales and souvenirs, while the other just kind of has a pathway leading up to West Street, which runs parallel to the waterfront. Once you do step off the tenders and make your way up to the street, you'll find yourself already actually in the heart of downtown Bar Harbor. This small coastal town is filled with local boutiques, art galleries, and charming cafes. And if you love seafood, this is your chance to indulge in Maine's famous lobster rolls or even some clam chowder. Now taking a look at this map here, you can see the tender platforms in relation to some of these sites. To get your bearings, West Street runs along the waterfront, while Main Street runs up straight through town with these little side streets off it. Now this is a photo of Main Street. It runs up on a slight sloping angle and it'll lead up to a small park called Village Green. On the corner of Village Green, you'll find the town's main visitor information building, as well as an office for the National Park Service for anyone who's looking to get a day pass for the Acadia National Park. It's also a departure point for the Village Explorer buses. This is a free public bus that runs in the summer months in the peak time to take visitors into the park to aid with reducing the number of cars on the road. We'll leave a link below in the description to the website where you can find all the routes it runs through the park, and you'll also find on the site the seasonal calendar of operations. Now it is important to note that this is a public bus service, it's not a guided tour. So if you do want a guaranteed seat, guided commentary, and a visit to the top of Cadillac Mountain, you really kind of just need to be on a tour, not a public bus. So either one of your ship's shore excursions, or maybe even one of the local trolley tours that are being sold in town. If you do take the bus, however, while there are many different routes through the park, we'd recommend the Loop Road. It'll really just give you a good overview of the park, and it is a round trip, so you do end up back downtown at Village Green. But speaking of Cadillac Mountain, this is often seen as the highlight of the park. At 1,527 feet or 465 meters, it is the highest point on the Atlantic coast, and its summit is the first place in the United States to see the sunrise each day. You can get a beautiful view of the islands in the bay and the ship down below. By the nature of the island you're visiting being 2/3 covered in national park, naturally you'll find a lot of adventure and ecotourism opportunities here. So popular tours include things like going hiking, kayaking through Frenchman's Bay, lobster boat fishing tours, and even helicopter rides over the national park. Also, if you're visiting Bar Harbor between May and October, don't miss the chance to go whale watching. It is really peak season in between those months. Now, various tours also depart from the harbor, giving you the chance to see humpback whales, finback whales, dolphins, and seals up close. So you really do have a lot of opportunities here. However, if you do just plan on staying locally in town, on top of the culinary opportunities and all of the great shopping you can find, you also do have a few points of interest. The Abbey Museum is located across from Village Green, and it celebrates Maine's Native American heritage with things like exhibits, hands-on programs, and workshops taught by Native artists. There is also the Bar Harbor Historical Society. In 1947, a fire destroyed 26.5 square miles or 69 square kilometers of wilderness and a third of Bar Harbor's lavish summer homes. Here, a display of early photographs shows the grand old days and the devastating effects of that fire. It showcases the days of the Rockefellers' influence on the town and how it's evolved into this incredibly popular summer travel destination that we all know it is today. Now just note though, it is typically only open from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m, so a short window, so do plan your time accordingly if you do wish to visit. And then if you want a little bit of nature without going too far away from the port, you can always try Shore Path. This half-mile walkway, first laid down in 1880, begins near Agamont Park and continues past the Birch Tree Line Grant Park with views of the Porcupine Islands offshore and the historical mansions that are set back in from the pathway. It does loop around, so you can actually start in town and then come back along the waterfront or vice versa. So coming back to a map here, you can see these places we've just covered and their proximity to the cruise port. So on that note, let's dive into a few useful tips to help you make the most of your day. All right, so the main thing that I want to cover in this section is actually how to be a little bit strategic in picking your cruise itinerary to maximize the amount of time you'll actually have in Bar Harbor. Now, whilst of course there are variations, typically an itinerary visiting Bar Harbor is a cruise going either from Boston up through New England into Canada through towards Montreal and or Quebec City. You can either start in Canada or Boston, which, starting in Boston, we think is actually the better option, and let me explain why. When you start your cruise in Boston, you start in a US port, and then you go to Bar Harbor, which is of course another US port. However, when your cruise starts in Canada, Bar Harbor is often the entry point into the United States for that particular ship. Now, just like flying into the country, when you arrive by a cruise ship, every single guest, regardless of nationality, needs to be seen by the United States Customs and Border Protection officials. Now, this is normal, however, it is quite a unique process in Bar Harbor because it's also a tender port. Now, how it often works is that when the ship arrives and drops anchor, a lifeboat gets lowered, goes ashore, and picks up the immigration officials. It then brings them back, they set up a space on board the ship, and then they need to see all guests face to face to approve them to a visit or returning into the country. Now, as you can imagine, this takes quite a long time and it really can eat into your port day experience. Now, you might be scheduled in Bar Harbor from say 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., but because of this immigration inspection, the 8 a.m. part might quickly turn into say 10 a.m. or later pretty quickly. So for this reason, if getting as much time in Bar Harbor as you can is important to you, we'd recommend picking an itinerary that leaves from Boston, as that will be your best bet. Another tip for maximizing time ashore here is to book a tour through your cruise line. Now, most of the time when booking a cruise ship shore excursion, that tour must leave at a certain time, so normally the guests going on tours will actually be the first ones going ashore in a tender port. So if you book an early morning tour of the national park, for example, you might actually be completing your tour before some guests are even off the ship in the first place. So then when you finish the tour back in town, you can then just go off on your own, explore the downtown area freely at your leisure, that way maximizing the time that you have on the day in Bar Harbor. So on that note, we hope you found this introduction to Bar Harbor helpful. And if you have enjoyed this information and you'd like to know when we post new videos that might be helpful for other ports, it's super simple. All you need to do is click that subscribe button down below, then hit the bell to be notified when we upload new port information videos. It's as simple as that. So thanks very much for watching and enjoy your visit to Bar Harbor.